welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about my Yamaha R6, my 2017 Yamaha R6. So I've now had the bike 1 year, it's pretty much a year to the day. I've done about 1,000 miles, so I was planning on doing a 1,000-mile review or a 1 year review, but I've just a bit of combined. So initial thoughts, I love the bike. I've always wanted a Yamaha R6. My dream bike is an R1 with the CP4, but the R6 was the bike I always wanted to get first. Obviously you know I had the R7 before this, so yeah, I had an R7 sport bike and then I got this, so it's my first 600 sport bike. But yeah, I was a little bit skeptical at first about getting on a 600, but that's fine, it's nice. Good thing about a 600 is the power band is all pretty high up, so normal riding like this is fine. But yeah, that's not until you open it up. So yeah, I'm going to do a bit of a chill ride today, so you can hear me. Bit of dual carriageway here, so that might change things a little bit, but yeah, kind of a chill ride today. Talk about the bike, talk about what I like, what I don't like, my plans for the bike. So yeah, really just to talk about the R6. So I'm just gonna, I've got to open it up here because there's a bit of straight. So as you'd have seen there, the bike has got a quick shifter. So this model comes as standard with a quick shifter. It's only an up quick shifter, not a down, but yeah, that was my first experience with a quick shifter when I got this bike, and I was very impressed. I don't think I could ever have a bike without a quick shifter now. Kind of spoiled with that, really. So yeah, like I say, just a bit of an easy one today. Even getting overtaken, look. So yeah, now hopefully you can hear me a bit better again. But yeah, I'd always wanted a 600 sport bike, always wanted the R6. As you'll see from my other bikes, I do like a Yamaha. I know I've just bought the Suzuki, which I'm now restoring. That was a bit of an impulse buy, really. And because of the nature of the bike, obviously it had been left for 20 years, so I saw it as a bit of a project as opposed to just a normal bike. I wouldn't now replace this with a current 600 Suzuki. So yeah, if I do replace this now, it's going to be with the R1. Initial thoughts. I love the look of the bike. Sounds great. Obviously now I've got the Akrapovic exhaust and I've put the straight through link pipe in, so it is louder. But even without that, with the slip-on Akrapovic that it had, once you got past sort of 7,000 or 8,000, once you're in a power band, it really opened up. But it's pretty throaty. It was a good sounding exhaust. But yeah, as you can hear now, that is a lot better. Oh, a bit bumpy. So yeah, with the exhaust I've got now, I had to get the ECU remapped to suit. I didn't go for anything crazy when I got it remapped. I literally just got it so it was safe for the exhaust that I've got. Since I've had it remapped for the exhaust, I've noticed a massive difference. I didn't ride it too much without the remap once I got the exhaust fitted, just to make sure everything was okay, really. But yeah, since I've had it remapped, it just feels totally different. Just a lot more smoother power delivery. Seems a lot faster. See, I don't know if a lot of this is because of the exhaust with the sound, but yeah, from when I got it remapped, it's like a totally different bike, really. Yeah, I've done a few things. I've changed the grips for Domino Road Race grips. I've put the WRS screen on, which is the taller screen. I've gone for the light tint. I've got the Quadlock foam case. I've got a Ram air filter. So yeah, there's quite a bit I've done on the bike really. Nothing major, and I'm not doing it to get massive power increases or anything like that, or I'm literally doing it because I like the look of the parts I've put on. I'm big into World Superbikes, so a lot of the parts like the WRS screen, the Domino grips, Akrapovic exhaust, all that sort of thing is obviously common to a lot of the bikes that I watch on there, so that's a lot of my thinking behind that. But yeah, I'll pull over in a bit and I'll show you the bike, do a bit of a walk around, point out some of the stuff I've done on it. But yeah, all in all, I love this bike. Like I said, I'm thinking about getting the R1. Not because I want to go faster, but that CP4 engine, I just love the sound of it. Obviously there's more electronics on the R1, it's got the digital dash. Obviously it is just a better bike. So yeah, I will be getting the R1 at some point. I would like to keep the R6 and have the R1, but I just feel like I'd always choose the R1. But yeah, it's not until I actually get on this bike a day like today, go out on the bike, and I think I don't need an R1. This is perfect. This does everything I need. It's got the power, it's got the sound, it's got the looks. So yeah, I love this bike. There's not a lot I would change, even like the fact that a lot of people say, obviously with the cross-plane engine like the R9, the R7, the R1, that's a lot more torque, a lot more power low down. But in some ways I like this. Do you know what I mean? I like it that you've got to rev it high. That's one of the things about the 600 sport bikes that make them stand out. And obviously now with the 600s not in many of the super sport classes now, like in World Superbikes, British Superbikes, obviously this has been replaced by the R9. They are a lot rarer, so they are holding their value. I mean, I bought this in 2024. It was 7 years old. I actually paid more for it than when it was new, so that shows value wise with these bikes how they're holding their value. So I can imagine when I trade it in, whether next year or later this year, I don't think I'll lose, if at all really. Obviously the money I've spent on it with the mods, but a lot of that I can put back to standard for when I sell it. But yeah, I feel like this bike is just the Yamaha R6 in general is such a good bike. Shame they're not making them anymore. But yeah, I genuinely can't fault the bike. A lot of people, the only one complaint they have is the fact of the power band where it is. But yeah, I don't have an issue with that at all. The only other thing is the instrument cluster. It's not all digital, but again, I think that looks pretty good. I think it suits the bike, having the large tachometer there. Yeah, I think that's a nice touch. Obviously, with the R7 I had and the MT-07, they both had a full digital display. They had a fuel gauge. That's probably my one gripe about this bike is the having no fuel gauge. Obviously, you can reset the miles, so you can see how far you've done on that tank once you're filled up, and obviously there is a petrol light that comes on. But yeah, not having a fuel gauge is probably just one thing that I would change with this bike, I'd say. So yeah, one drawback I would say would be the fact that there's no fuel gauge. Not a big deal. Yeah, I've got a lap timer but no fuel gauge. Obviously it's designed as a race bike initially, so yeah, that's just one of the things of having a sport bike, I suppose, or having an R6. So the R7 compared to this, the R7, I'm not comparing the bikes, but just how I feel on a sport bike. So that was a lot lighter. As soon as I got on this, that's a little bit heavier, and you can feel that, and it just makes it feel a little bit more planted. It just feels more secure in the corners. I don't push the bike too hard. I'm nowhere near the limits of this bike. But yeah, it just feels a lot better to corner. The other thing I was a little bit concerned about when I got this bike, obviously it being a sport bike, I'm in my late 30s now. A lot of people said that because I'm only now starting on a sport bike at that age, I'm going to struggle, but I find it very comfortable. yeah, I find it very comfortable when I get off it after being on it for a couple of hours. Yeah, I feel fine. I have no backache, no nothing. I feel very, very comfortable on it all round. That's good. So I wouldn't ever go away from a sport bike for that reason, I don't think. Whereas when I had my MT-07, because that was a naked bike, when I'm sort of going this speed, it's trying to force you off the back. So with this being a bike with fairings, it just feels so good. So I'm just going to find somewhere where I can pull in and do a bit of a walk around, show you the bike, show you what I've done. Oh great, that wasn't a clever move. This will do. Sound like some dirt bikes over there. So this is my 2017 Yamaha R6. As you can see, that is a good looking bike. When you compare it to bikes, modern bikes now, still looks pretty good. So I'll just give you a bit of a show of what I've actually done. So quick shifter came as standard. I've put the R&G case covers on, got the Lightech no drill frame sliders. So obviously on this side it's got the bracket because the fairings are different each side. Domino grips. I've replaced some of the bolts with titanium, as you can see, just the ones at the top to see how they look, and then I was going to kind of work my way down. Obviously they're a bit pricey. It's got a DID chain. It's got the Renthal rear sprocket. I've got the Pro Bolt titanium sprocket nuts. That is just a cheap from Amazon paddock stand bobbin on the back there. So I've got the Akrapovic exhaust. So when I got the bike, that was just a slip-on up to here. I've now changed the mid pipe from there to the bottom of the down pipes as a straight through section. I've removed the valve on the exhaust. Put some titanium bolts on there. Again, engine case cover, Lightech frame slider, Pro Bolt aluminium oil cap. But apart from that, obviously I've got the WRS screen, Domino grips, Quadlock, that's the wireless phone charger. I've got the Yamaha rear seat cowl, but obviously put my Insta 360 mount on there as well. I've got a carbon tank protector, and I've got the Stomp grip tank grips. So I went with these because I wanted the black on the black and the clear on the blue. I didn't want them both black or both clear. I thought if this one was clear you'd see the lines through, so that's why I've gone with the clear on the blue and the black on the black. And then other than that, I've got the air filter that's been changed, and I've got the ECU that's been remapped. That is what I've done to the bike. So I don't think I need to do a lot more to the bike. I'm happy with how it is, how it looks, how it sounds. So I'll just start the bike so you can hear. So as you can hear, that is pretty good. So I don't really think it needs to be any louder than that. I think that's pretty good. So I'm going to jump back on the bike, go for a bit more of a ride. When I get out of this little hole I'm in. So that is an overall look at the bike and what I've done. So my plan for the bike, I would love to keep this bike forever, depending on the R1 I find and how much it is, as to whether I have to trade this in or whether I can. I'm kind of buying my time a little bit so I can try and save up and get the R1 and keep the R6, but if a good deal comes along and I get a good price offered for this, then yeah, this will go, I'm afraid. But I'm not sure when that will be. It could be another year's time, and hopefully I can have both. But yeah, we'll see. The future of this bike, a little bit unsure at the minute what I'm going to do, but for now I'm just going to enjoy the bike, maybe make a couple of more little changes to the bike, like I said, nothing major, and just enjoy it. I would like to take the bike on a track. I just feel like this bike, for me, this was an expensive bike, and I don't really want to just take this on the track and then, unless I can get track day insurance, which I know again is expensive. But yeah, this bike to me is a little bit too expensive to take on the track. I'd like an R6 for the track, but I'd probably buy a cheaper one, something sort of half the price. But yeah, if I was to drop this, I'd obviously be gutted. So yeah, I think this bike I won't use as a track bike. I'm looking to get a cheaper bike. Obviously you've seen I've got my GSX R600 I'm now restoring. Potentially that could be used as a track bike. I'll see when I've finished it how it looks, how it feels, because obviously I've never actually ridden that bike before, so yeah, that's going to be a new experience. Like I say, the one drawback is not having a fuel gauge, but I get around that by just filling up regular, setting my. See, now I've done 61 miles on this last tank, so about 100 miles I'll probably refill, and that's just how I use it really. But apart from that, what a machine. Yeah, I just love it, love the feel, love the looks, love the sound, love the speed. So yeah, if you're going to buy an R6, do it. Normal video next week on the Gixxer, stripping it down a bit further. Yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.